Hi. Deuteronomy 22:13 through 21 is a horrible passage in the Bible. Oh, well, there are worse ones. But this one is bad for several reasons, and I've never talked about it. So today I thought I would. Please pay attention to these 10 reasons why this passage is ridiculous and evil. But particularly notice number 10. I think it's the nail in the coffin as far as showing that this law condones evil behavior. The passage speaks of a man's taking a wife and consummating the marriage and discovering that he hates the woman. And maybe she's no good at sex. Maybe she has bad breath. We don't know why he hates her. But the man who hates his wife starts talking smack about her. Or speaking biblically, he gives occasions of speech against her and brings an evil name upon her. He declares that when he went in to consummate the marriage, he discovered that somebody had beaten him to it. The solution to this grave dilemma is that the girl's parents bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity under the elders of the city in the gate. Now, this was a cloth, obviously with blood on it, that the parents showed the elders to prove that the husband was lying on his wife because he discovered he hated her once he had her. And we know that happens. We read about it in the Bible. Amnon, the son of David, was sick with love for his sister Tamar. She told him David would give her to him, but he raped her. Then he hated her more than he loved her. And of course, his brother Absalom had him killed for what he'd done. So I reckon it's possible to hate a woman once you have her. And then I guess some men are tempted to try to get the woman killed in order to get rid of her. Thus, they might be tempted to make up a lie. If indeed the man is telling a falsehood and the parents prove this by the token, the man is chastised for lying. He has to pay 100 shekels of silver to the father of the girl because he brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel. And the girl is to remain his wife, and he can't put her away all his days. If no token of the girl's virginity can be found, the girl must be stoned to death at the door of her father's house because she played the whore in his house. That's how they would put away evil. So this was supposed to be a good law. It kept women from being promiscuous. Sure, men could apparently enjoy physical relations before marriage, but women could not. I guess that even if these people wanted to, there was no way to determine a man's virginity. But I don't think they cared to. Now, as you can see, and as I said, there are lots of things wrong with this law. I can name a few, and maybe you can think of more. But here are the 10 that struck me. Number 1. Not all virgins bleed when having sex for the first time. Some girls are born with not much of a hymen. Some break their hymen by riding a horse or a bicycle or doing gymnastics or climbing on a monkey bar or performing any kind of vigorous exercise. So not bleeding is not a sign that a woman is not a virgin. Yahweh should have known that, but obviously didn't because he's quite ignorant of the human body. Number 2, the husband was there. He saw the blood if there was blood, so he knew. If the parents had a token of virginity, the husband knew they had it because he saw it and possibly is the one who gave it to him. How stupid would he be to think he'd get away with this? The whole thing makes no sense. Now, number 3, the man might have stolen the token. You know he had probably been in the girl's father's house. After all, he hated this girl, remember? He hated her enough to try to get her murdered. So I wouldn't put theft past him. Number 4, the parents might have lost the token. Things have a way of disappearing. And yes, even important things like birth certificates and passports and bloody rags. Number 5, how would anybody know where the blood came from? I mean, parents could put blood on a cloth and claim that it belonged to their daughter. It's not like they had some way of knowing this blood was from any particular part of the body or to whom the blood belonged. It could have been a dog's blood or a goat's blood. So the whole thing is unworkable. Number 6, this poor girl is put to death for behavior that should not carry the death penalty. As I said, there was no way to test men. And even if the husband was also a virgin, not being one is not something anybody should be murdered for. Seriously, do y'all think fornication deserves the death penalty? I know a lot of people who would never make it to marriage if we started murdering all people who have sex before marriage. Number 7, if the husband lies, he isn't punished at all. And he not only lies, but he tries to commit a murder via others, and all he gets is a fine. Apparently, sex before marriage is viler to Yahweh than attempted murder is. Well, yes, there was more to the man's punishment, but that's my next point. Number 8, this poor girl, whose husband hates her enough to try to have her murdered, has to live with this man forever. And since this man hates his wife, she can leave and go be another man's wife, a man who will actually love her. No, the girl doesn't matter. She must spend the rest of her life with a husband who hates her. It's not like he's going to suddenly start loving her after this charade. Shoot, he might even hire a hitman. Number 9, this man could have put the woman away and allowed her to marry someone else. So the accusation was all about trying to have her murdered. The law allows for divorce. The man could easily divorce his wife rather than trying to get her murdered. Any man who followed this law was deliberately, because of hatred in his heart, wanting the death of another person. If anybody deserved the death penalty, it seems to me like it would be him. And finally, the big one. Number 10. If this man was a decent man, even if he found his wife not to be a virgin, he would have kept it to himself. According to the New Testament, that's what a just man does. Joseph, being a just man, was going to put Mary away privately. Yeah, he was going to get rid of her, but he wasn't going to have her murdered or even accuse her of anything. That's what a just man would do, even living under the law of Moses, which Joseph did. So why in the name of justice, morality, goodness, or love would Yahweh have told men they could murder their wives? That's obviously not just, as we see from the example of the just Joseph. If murdering the woman had to happen in order to put away evil in Israel, then why didn't a just man like Joseph follow this wonderful law? Was he really just? Or was the law just? Which was it? If a just man puts away a guilty woman, as Mary was as far as Joseph could determine, no need for a bloody rag when the woman is pregnant and you know it's not yours, then a man who has his wife murdered, whether she's guilty or not, is obviously, let me hear it, unjust. That seems like a fact to me. And you know what that means? It means Yahweh made an unjust law. Just men like Joseph put away privately and don't have their wives murdered. Only an unjust man would do what Yahweh told men to do. That's all I can think of regarding this passage. If you can think of other reasons why this law is unfair and unjust and unholy, please let me know in the comments. And hey, if you want to refute what I've said here, feel free to do it. Despite what I've been accused of, I never delete a comment. Never have, never will unless, maybe if somebody says something about one of my kids, I might delete that. And I suppose there could be reasons, but I never have and don't ever plan to. I mean, I just don't feel it's fair to people who watch and take the time to comment. I don't want that done to me, so I won't do it to other people. Thank you all. Bye.